Hey guys and gals, I got another one for you today. Today I'm in the Alpine Tiger on Live Oak Standard Battle. We're in the north, and I'm just going to talk about map tactics, and I'll probably put together like a playlist that players can go to and see how I envision map tactics and see if that's something that you guys want. Southeast corner is the main choke, city is the secondary choke, and in the north a lot of the snipers and scouts like to get on this hill. You can get stuff spotted as they cross to the city in these two areas, and then alternatively in the middle of those two areas are their sniper hill. Once you win the city or the south, don't push into these fields because they're going to have a lot of cover fire. And then same goes for the south flank. Don't push into these two areas because they'll have cover fire coming from their spawns. And that's beginning game in Live Oaks, kind of like the mindset that I set. And you can look at the matchup too. That's definitely important. You can see we each have one scout, and I think scouts are very important on this map just because it's fairly big. It's got a lot of terrain, it's got a lot of bushes, and you can do a lot in your scout at end game. I mean, you can do it at beginning game. Like I said, the sniper hill for both sides, really. If you have binos, you can get your binos up and get a lot of tanks spotted. You can see that their scout appeared in D4, and he's just making a little scouting run. And our scout hasn't left the base yet. Alright, so we're going to make a push down south here, and I'm big dog, so I'm going to lead the charge. I can go left or right here. Right, I would go next to the bridge if we had gun depression, but the Alpine Tiger doesn't, so I need to use the low ground because then I can stay hull down and not have to worry too much about gun depression. As I round this corner, there's nothing spotted on the K line push forward. So there's 3 tanks that they have back there, but one looks like he's already just like thinking about retreating and going under the bridge. Now you have to watch out for tank destroyers in the back. And if there's arty, both of the locations that I said you could push into are dangerous spots to be. So the Challenger, I definitely was not hull down there. He had a shot at the side of my hull. However, he's backing up, so I imagine his gun dispersion is pretty horrendous. So for him to land the shot is going to be lucky. So I take my time, aim my shot, and put it in. Now we're going to try to lead him, and we miss. Shoot behind him there. And then my wave of greens are going to push forward into these 2 remaining guys here. Now I have to be careful because there's stuff on the right might be able to see me, and I'm exposing the back of my turret. I'm just not sure how big this hill is. Do the railroad track hill actually cover me? And I'm not believing in it. So we're gonna come over, we're gonna get a shot into this guy real quick, and then we're gonna back up. And nobody shot at me, so I'm guessing that they don't have a very good shot. So show off my gun depression here, and I just hit the hill a little bit and it kicks my gun up in the air, so it doesn't allow me to shoot the Challenger. So now what do? We won the south. Well, don't proceed into these 2 buildings because the guys right here are going to spot you, and then these guys generally are unspotted and can shoot down into that spot. Get into this little beachhead, and if you can move directly there, it's the low ground, so you should be able to sneak, get these 2 spots spotted, and if you have sniper support, they're going to be able to help cover you in the E3 area. But we don't have our map set up like that, so I'm going to go back to defend since nobody's going to be there to help that scout. So I'm going to head over to like F0 and be able to get shots into their field, hoping that they proceed from the city into the field, which a lot of the times people do. A lot like how my team proceeds into those 2 buildings and then gets stuck there the whole game. If you want a lot of assisted damage and you have a lot of tanks stuck in those 2 buildings, then proceed to that beachhead that I showed you, and you will get a lot of assisted damage because generally they're stuck there because they can't see what's spotting them. So as soon as you get to that beachhead and you spot the E line, then they'll be able to pull out and get shots for you. Now the red team does something pretty incredible that I don't see very often, and they're trying to surround us in the south. They do have a 4-tank advantage right now, but I just feel like that's not a good play. Anytime you're going in the swamp, you're potentially throwing your tank in the garbage. Maybe if you're a scout like for endgame, then it's okay. But you're a sitting duck out there, your tank's not going to maneuver very well, and there's just better choices to make than to just drive through the swamp. So I'm trying to get my team to move back up to the base. We can still like bring this back and win it if I can get them to come back around and we can use the terrain a little bit better to our advantage. And then more tanks get spotted in the swamp. So, I mean, thank you, Reds, for just throwing this back in our favor here. So I kill the Pantera, and then there's a P-43. And try to get a shot on him. And I think that shell goes a little low or just hits something that he's in front of, or behind, I should say. Not a very good game. We're only up to 1,000 damage. That shell goes high, and I don't really like sniping in my heavy tanks, but I don't want to proceed through a field. I just got done talking about how easy it is to farm people that drive through these fields, so I don't want to be the heavy tank that does. However, me and this scout are going to work very well together, and I'm going to be the shield and he's going to be the eyeballs. So since he hasn't killed, I'm going to start to move forward, and if I'm detected, I'm going to stop. However, in a Lycan, I imagine he probably can see at least up to our sniper hill that I'm driving to, so I feel like I'm pretty safe to go here. And then once I come here, a Progetto gets spotted, I believe from the tanks in the south spot him. And we're going to take our time, get a shot into him. Shell almost goes high there. And then I need to push up and get on this hill just in case there are more tanks coming. Alright, so we're going to lead him. And he goes dark, but I'm able to get a shot into him. Now the scout stays back until I get over top of this hill, and if there's anything close to me, I should spot it. Like coming out of the city is what I'm talking about. But it's not the problem. The problem is they're over on their sniper hill in E2, and I'm not able to get it spotted, and that's where he's going to come in. So I'll make the advance, and then once I get to a safe position, he can pull up because he knows he's safe, and then get vision out for me. And that's our little brotherhood that we work together with. So he gets that Challenger spotted. Remember me, Challenger, down in the south? Yeah, I flexed all the way around just to take you off the map, buddy. Alright, so I was going to push his dead tank up there, and then I realized, you know, if there's something else over there, the Lycan probably would have had it spotted. So I'm going to proceed. I'm going to say cover me, hoping that if I do get in trouble that the Lycan will come help me. But I am full health, so I'm not too worried about it. Get a shot into that KV2. He tries to snapshot me, which is hilarious. Block the Progetto shell. And the Lycan is giving me cover fire, so the Progetto can't sit up there and shoot at me. Now it's just a matter of closing the distance, and I'm not too worried about crossing fields at this moment because there's only 2 tanks left. Our atomic takes out the Progetto, and then we're going to proceed up to this sniper hill. And if you win the city from the north and you can get to this hill, that's a pretty game-changing move. And generally you're going to win if you can take this hill from the red team. However, it's very difficult to come out of the city and attack this hill because they're going to be hull down. There's usually big tank destroyers back here. And now, my last point is a lot of people don't like to give up the south after they won it and go back to the base because they feel like anybody left in that H1 area where the T-29 was just, or up on the sniper hill, are going to push in behind us and potentially put us in a pincer. But I say they're not going to. Generally, they're in a defensible location for a reason, or they're not a very good player yet and they're still learning. So they're not going to pursue 5 tanks in hopes that they're just going to be able to farm the butts. Get to endgame stats. Our atomic did 2,000 damage, 3 kills. I got 3,200 with 3 kills, even with a bad start. That's a good game. My Lycan, I messaged him, tell him that he did a good job at the end there. He ended up with 2,003 kills. Our FE202 did 2,500 with 1 kill. So between the 4 of us, we had a nice game that we put together. And that's really all I got for you. So make sure you like, share, subscribe, and I will catch you in the next video.